Welcome to the pod. My name is Iain Lee.
I'm Katherine Boyle.
This is your free 30-minute podcast, dear listener. Yeah, you tightwads. You tightwads, come and sign up. We have had a flurry of new Patreon sign up. Katherine, can you explain what Patreon is? Why? Just while I get the names of our new favourite people.
Patreon is an excellent way to support your favourite creators. You cut out everyone else, no greedy, grasping hands. Bezos can fund his own flipping knob rockets. Yeah. This all comes straight to us. So if you like your podcasts
fresh,
without any fat cats over them, then that's what
we got a load of new people. I want to say hello to Michael Ward. I want to say hello to Dorkface. And hello to Tim Radwan. And Tim and Dorkface joined because about 5 o'clock I thought, I haven't done a video promoting this for a while. I put one out. They joined straight away. Thank you. You are my favourite people. Busy show this week. You wrote something down. Oh, if you want to sign up for Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/Iain and Katherine is what you want. You wrote something down. Do you remember? You wrote it. Well, come on, we've got action.
Just going through our podcast.
By the way, it's looking like from the chat, Cleo Lane has died. I, of course, went to interview Cleo Lane for the 11 o'clock show, and I talked about jazz mags.
And scat.
Scat and jazzing off. So, not my proudest. Still, it can be added, she can now be added to those awful AI videos of Ozzy Osbourne with jamming with Elvis and Christ. I also saw one. It was Ozzy Osbourne. Is it Malcolm Jamal Warner? Is that his name from The Cosby Show? I thought was a great actor. And Hulk Hogan. The three of them, AI, hanging out. Hulk Hogan wouldn't have liked that because he was a very racist man who liked throwing that M-word around like nobody's business. And his greatest fear was that his daughter would date a man of colour. He didn't phrase it that way. He, of course, phrased it in the worst possible way. Katherine.
I can't remember.
Oh, you sent it to me.
Can you see my T-shirt? Yes, Jenna, of course you can. Sorry I'm late. I was dilly-dallying.
This is why. Okay, and we will let it go this time. I'll see if I can find it. You've got to write it down in your notes. You've got to write a draft email or you have to have a system.
It never happens. Normally I just remember.
Oh, yeah, no. A system where you put it in a thing that we use all the time, the WhatsApp, and there is never a chance. Wasn't it something to do with 30? Didn't it have 30 in it? Wasn't there a 30 involved?
Did I message it to you?
Yes, you did.
I mean,
you WhatsApped
not
it.
in a WhatsApp.
No, it was a WhatsApp.
Not a text.
It might have been a text.
That would be a clever way to do it.
I'm pretty sure it was yeah.
Black goo. No, that was a different thing. That's a luxury cake shop.
I haven't got it. Okay, well, it was something.
I'll look.
We'll listen, guys.
What day was it?
Well, this is, I don't know. This is what
brand is your gimbal? I mean, if I read you the message.
I'll tell you what we've got, right? I don't know. Oh my God, I don't think I've got anything. Yes, I have. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. I thought, so I finally...
Monkeys and donkeys.
What was it? I don't remember what that means.
How come
here we go.
Monkeys, plural, and donkeys, plural, is not IES, but EYS? Why?
Actually, it's not quite as good as when we mentioned it in the car, is it? Where were we going in the car?
We weren't with the rabbit at that point, were we?
Oh, so we had to go to Tiggy Winkle's this week because one of my cats, probably Big Boy, attacked a little baby rabbit. Now,
Tiny.
We get dead rabbits and we get headless rabbits, but this one, he'd left and it was there. And I went out and it was there and it's like, and it was breathing. And I'm looking at it, it's breathing. Okay. And I kind of picked it up and it had broken a leg, but it was still alive. It was too alive for me to stove its head in, which is an option, right? So I then got a tea towel and I'm sat with this little rabbit and it was panicking a bit and then it kind of stopped panicking and I'm sat there and I'm stroking this beautiful little bunny. Its neck has been punctured by sharp fangs and its leg is broken. Apart from that, and we sat with it. I thought I was going to die. It didn't. It fell asleep and we took it to Tiggy Winkle's. And next week, guys, I will have phoned up and you will be the first people to hear, apart from us and maybe other people, our kids actually, you'll be the first people to hear, did that rabbit survive? Or did it not?
I'm not convinced, but he did hang in there, didn't he?
Hanging in there. I found out this week what male pattern baldness is, because it's a phrase that people say, right? Male pattern baldness. And I have never, I didn't know what it was, so I Googled it. And it's the baldness forming in a pattern. So it's either the receding of the bits here.
Yep.
My hair is fucking magnificent. Someone on Facebook tried to call me out for having untidy hair. He was a man younger than me and bald.
Yeah, jealousy.
Yeah, mate.
Jealousy.
Or it's the monk patch. What was that film we watched? Sweary Nuns.
Oh,
it's so good.
Very funny. The Little Hours, was it called?
Was it The Little Hours or the
Smallest
Lonely Hours?
No,
it had an L. It was...
I'll just verify everyone.
We stumbled across it. And
we've been looking for a long time.
It looked crap. And then the trailer automatically played up before we scanned through. And it was...
Little Hours.
Fred Armisen. Is it Michael C. Riley? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
You know the...
Mr. Cellophane. Yes.
And who's the lady? Leslie Orota.
Nope.
What was her name? Who I like, but she plays the same character all the time. Got
right.
the eyes.
It's right. I'll tell you exactly who was in
John
it.
C. Reilly.
Aubrey Plaza.
Alison Brie.
Dave Franco.
And the trailer popped up.
John C. Reilly.
That's what I said. Second time. I corrected myself.
Kate Micucci.
Okay.
You can't be called Micucci.
And
Molly Shannon. Nick Offerman.
It's set in the 14th century, right? But they're effing and what are you fucking looking at? It's all of that. They're talking like it's set in 21st century New York. I'm not going to say any more. It's nuns and monks, right? Thoroughly recommend it. I'm watching a film. It's another one of those time travel films where you get murdered and you have to survive. You come back the next day and you get murdered again. It's called Until Dawn. It's fun. What did I watch? Did I feel like I've watched something else?
We've been watching The Righteous Gemstones. We're watching the arse off that.
Coming to the end of season 3. What
are we going to do when it's over?
We'll watch season 4.
There isn't a season 4.
There is. Yeah, the season 4 just came out like 3 months ago. That's why we're watching this. Yeah, season 4. Oh, did you not know?
No, I thought that we were coming to the end
I've just gifted you another 8 or 10 episodes, which is good news for everybody.
Yes.
So I went out today. You've probably seen on some of the social media. And what we'll do, I'm not really supposed to share these, but for the Patreons,
we'll give you a little look-see.
I'll share some clips of stuff. So I went out today. I've got this. I've got the cheap jacket. It's a cheap suit from Vinted, tie, and so I look like an estate agent. We went out. Me and my friend Brian, who I used to work with on Rise. We went out and we filmed some 11 o'clock show style Vox Pops. We started in Harlow. We got moved on from Harlow. We went to Bishop Stortford. And
no.
The first 4, it's like, this isn't really working. Number 5, I know you from somewhere. Who are you? I'm Richard Bacon. That's it. Yeah, I used to host a show called Bacon's Bastards. Oh, yeah. That's who you are.
Did you film that?
That's all on film.
Yes.
That's all on film. We got to number 5 and suddenly it kicked in. And I wasn't that kid from the 11 o'clock show. I was the older man version of that guy from the 11 o'clock show with extra powers.
Yeah, did people believe you more because you were a proper man with a
yes,
microphone?
No, actually they didn't. And I'll tell you why. Because when we did it in 98 to 2001, well, reality TV hadn't even started. Big Brother hadn't even started. So you saw someone in London or in the city with a big camera and a microphone and there would be like 4 people there, 5 people sometimes. They would take it seriously. So it's different. Mm-hmm. But we did Is Britain Getting Dumber? They're taking away free speech, and we did the migrants crisis. Now, I'm going to play you some little... Brian has very quickly and skillfully edited up some little tasters. I'll play them for the Patreons. The rest aren't allowed to see, and you've got to join... who you got to look... You should probably go and... Actually, this is a good chance to promote the TikTok channel, because it's... Oh, that's me. You want to look for 1911, and it's the word 19, the number's 11 TV, 1911 TV. Go and sign up to that, because that's where we're going to be posting them all, right? And some very funny stuff. I got 2 people to say 19, which is always a joy. And it was fun. Then we went to Bishop Stortford and we did migrants. It was terrifying because it was terrifying. And Brian, when I presented in the script that Paul Garner, the OG Paul Garner, had come up with the questions, he went, I'm not sure about this. He said, you're going to get a lot of abuse from people. I said, Brian, I'm ready to, I can take that abuse. I can shoulder it, right? I can shoulder it. He said, this is going to get us a lot of attention, which could be great if you're okay with it. I said, I'm totally okay with it. And then when we started doing it, without being too pompous, is actually quite important. And it's satire in the truest sense of the word. Well, I don't know. This is my definition. I don't know what the actual definition. It's highlighting some awful, awful things through comedy. Katherine, over to Katherine Boyle.
So yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, if you are a TikTok addict as we are, you'll have noticed that Mehdi Hassan was involved in the journalist Mehdi Hassan, who is now a naturalised American, although he's still got a UK passport as well, was put in the centre of a circle of racists, basically. He didn't realise at the time, I heard him talking about it yesterday, he didn't realise at the time that these weren't just your average right-wingers. These were all
so they stitched him up as well as the presenter.
They were right-wing influencers.
Right, okay, well, that's neat.
Shit stirrers. So they were very bold in what they were saying, and they were doing it for attention. And he said, would he do it again? I heard him on the newsagents. And he said, would he do it again? No, he wouldn't do it again.
Okay.
He doesn't regret doing it, but he didn't like the way it went. He does not, as a rule, debate fascists.
That's mean of the... That's... and more than mean, that's... I can't think of what the word is.
Duplicitous.
Yeah, I can't think of the word. That's terrible for the I've been reading a little bit about that show and the people, and they're a bit like that. To stitch up the presenter,
it's rage bait.
Is as Alex pointed out, some of my videos were, and there's now talk of me doing something like that, but with kids.
I think that's
I've been because there's been a few of those videos, and I've watched them thinking I'd like to do that, but I don't know what the gag would be. I'm certainly not clever enough to do a political one. What would the gag? And then Katherine went, "Well, it's kids, right?" Oh yeah, totally. So we're going to be. I'm doing that soon.
Once a producer.
Well, you can produce. We can have a team doing the thing. Come and
quite fun.
Yeah, come and help out.
All right.
Not come and help out. Come and produce. It'll be me, Garner, and probably Brian. It's like we're filming, amassing a little.
But where do we get the children?
We'll find them.
We'll find them. We need to recruit.
So we did. So I won't go through the. I very carefully. I posted a picture of me in Starbucks. With just enough, this is the freedom of speech one. Let me get all these things. With just enough so that people could see that the top line was migrant crisis, because that will get some people angry. So it was about some of these questions. They're talking about making it more fun for the migrants, especially those travelling with kids. Should we turn the Channel Tunnel into a 27-mile log flume? This was a good one. This pissed people off. Would you be happy to contribute to the Migrants to Mallorca scheme? 2 weeks for them just to relax, take a banana boat and chill out while we process their applications. Another good one was, which I didn't think would work, the government are looking at ways of making the channel more dangerous. Some of their suggestions are sharks, mines. There's a reform councillor who's doing a GoFundMe to have an iceberg dragged over to the channel. Doing all that shit.
Some people were all for that. In fact, they thought it didn't go far enough.
We met some of the most disgusting, vile racists I've ever met. Awful. And for the first guy, there's two old boys. Brian went, let's get them. Right. Excuse me, sir. I wonder if we're filming for social media and then we're getting people's views on the migrant crisis. And he went, you better not be fucking reform. I went, no, I'm the opposite. He said, good, they can fuck off. So that was a good one.
Nice.
I may have added one more fuck than he actually said.
You're
but that's
keeping that, right? You're going to show him that.
That's going in.
Gold.
That's the start. I may have added one or two more fucks there. But we spoke. So we were doing two voxes, right? I was kind of alternating depending on who we had. So we're doing Is Britain Got Dumber? I can make you say the number 19. I can make you turn your hands over, put your hands out. No, not that way. Well, all of that stuff.
Which you tried out on me yesterday and I did not fall for.
Got two people to say 19. All right, Biggest, I'll let you in a minute. And there were some young women, mid-20s, 26, 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I was doing the Is Britain Dumb? And one of them went, yeah, it is fucking dumb because of all the migrants. I went, oh, oh, I see. So we started doing that. They were disgusting. I don't want to say too much about them because clips will be going up. They were disgusting. What was worse, so we were in the high street. We went to the train station. It wasn't really happening there. So as we walked away from the train station, I'm with my clipboard talking to Brian. We're walking away. Right. Well, we need some more on free speech. We've probably got enough of Is Britain Dumb. We could do with a bit more migrants, right? And this young man, well-dressed, handsome, 25-year-old young man, he walked past and he said something. And I thought he said, turn the microphone off. So I've got a stick mic. And when we weren't filming. And it took me a second. I turned round and he's now about 30 yards away. I went, what? And he gets to about 60 yards away. And he's like, I said, I don't know what you're saying. And he shouted, send the fucking migrants back. I was like, oh my God. And then he started walking towards us and he went, I was at Epping the other day. And I got angry and I said, migrants look after my mum. And then he said something, and then I thought, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to talk to this person. And I couldn't think of anything clever or witty to say. So I said, and I'm going to tell you what I said. I don't need to, but I did. I said, I don't talk to traitors. Now, traitors isn't really the right word, but I was trying to express. And then he kept coming closer, and I said, mate, why don't you just go and fuck off, you racist prick. And we walked away. And actually, that really, really upset me. Partly because I couldn't think of a funny comeback. Two failed attempts at funny comebacks. But more importantly, it was the brazenness of a young man. It was several things, right? For him and the women, they were young people, right?
Yeah.
25, 26, 27.
We've kidded ourselves that it was the older generation that were old-fashioned, stuck in their ways, and once they were gone, we'd all be cool.
No. They're young people, right? And this is how they're thinking. And the fact that this man, he was a man, felt comfortable enough to shout from 60 yards away in public outside a train station, send the effing migrants back. I was at Epping the other day. The fact that he felt emboldened enough to say that in public, really, that and his age, really, really depressed me. And it's going to sit with me for a long time. How have we got it so wrong that a young man like that those young women like that are talking in the most vile, evil ways? That young man was prepared to go and stand outside a hotel where, from what I've heard, the person who may or may, I don't know the full story, but I believe there was an accusation of child molestation, but wasn't in the hotel, had been taken out of the hotel. But yet there were kids in the hotel. And then there was a riot, of course, and they're blaming it on Antifa. How would you say?
Antifa, yeah.
They're blaming it on Antifa. We as a country are fucked. We got a young man hopefully coming on next week, a guy called Joe Willoughby, who's on TikTok. Look him up. He is the exact opposite of that person that I spoke to today very briefly.
Yeah.
He's going on TikTok and very calmly, very politely, showing a video of a racist twat and saying, here's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to prove what they're saying is wrong with facts. And that's what he does.
And that's what we need, right? The conversation I was having when I went to that parliamentary reception the other day was, are we teaching our kids early enough about media literacy? Which sounds very dull, but really what it is about is, why is this person telling you the thing that they're telling you? There is money to be made and they're making money out of your time. So you need to go into this with your eyes open and understand what this message is, why those messages, generally ones that get you with a sucker punch, make you feel outraged, make you feel like you want to do something, right? It might be something that makes you feel really happy, but most likely with stuff like this, it is stuff that makes you feel outraged. You're going to pass it on without thinking about it and without asking questions about where the information came from. And that's how they're getting these people. And that's how they're getting the younger generation as well. We have trained them over lockdown to sit there with screens, right? They're spending a lot of time in their own heads and they're spending a lot of time on their own. So they are really, really, really vulnerable to this. Older people too, but the younger people in particular, we've trained them to do that. So we need to train them to be able to understand why people are trying to use them, because that's what's happening. They're being used. And that's not about telling them what to think. It's about getting them to question why they're being told the things they're being told and whether those things are true or not and where they come from.
It's always a pendulum. It's always a pendulum, but I still think we got quite a bit more swing towards the right on the pendulum. We got quite a bit more to the point. I do think, I was talking to Scott and Katherine earlier, I do think Farage is going to be the next Prime Minister. We got quite a bit more swing before it comes back the other way. It was, honestly, I had so much fun doing the Vox Pops, met some really, really lovely people, met Finn, who's one of us. He's not watching tonight. He's a plastic fan. Apparently, he's out having a meal somewhere with his partner
on a Friday night. What a pervert!
But Finn, who his name has popped up, and anyway, Finn Adams came over and said hello, and we had a nice little chat. And I did some Vox Pops with some really, really nice people. The woman that thought I was Richard Bacon was absolutely delightful. So it was all cool. But those women. And that man at the end, that was once we did that man, both me and Brian went, I'm not in the mood to do this anymore. It was so depressing and it made me so angry and so concerned that if they've... Anyway, the Vox Pops are going to be funny. What I think the plan is Brian is... I mean, he's brilliant. He very quickly... got some little teasers, and we're going to drop teasers on his 1911 TV, word 19, number 11 TV, on his TikTok and the social medias. So if you see them, what is really, really helpful is if you can forward them on TikToks. If you can forward them to as many people as soon as you see it, because it's the first hour of activity that will get it in the algorithm. If you like it, comment and forward it on. That boosts up the algorithm. I'm going to do my best to reply to every comment as well, because you know, if we're doing these for ourselves for a laugh, we're doing it as a little advert. Maybe TV people might be interested. I doubt it, but also it would be lovely if they made some money, if they started getting 1 million views or stuff, they might make a few quid, which would be great. But the main reason of doing it is doing it for ourselves. Yeah. So if you see them, that would be great. And I do. It's very rarely I say I think I've done important work, but I think this migrants Vox Pop. He's got to edit it well, which I know he will, because he's got to edit it well to make it work and not go too much. It's tricky. It's a fine line, but he'll do it. He's very talented. So, and if you're a Patreon, when we finish this show in about 10, 15 minutes, I'll show you some of the things we filmed, but you mustn't tell anybody I've shown you, all right? Some little bits and pieces. But I tell you what, it was nice being kind of that guy, but having a little bit more weight, a bit more gravitas. In the olden days, I used to get... If I was Vox popping arseholes, I'd get angry. I remember doing one at a Tory conference, and there was a protest pro-fox hunting. And I remember I got really angry to the point where Damon Beasley said, right, we got to go. Ian, you can't be arguing like this with them. And I didn't get that today. Even when I was talking to the old man outside Weatherspoons, when he was telling them all the migrants to fuck off, and I said, are you religious? He said, well, I'm a Christian. So you can imagine Jesus on the White Cliffs of Dover flicking the V saying, fuck off. So I didn't get angry when I was doing the Vox. Got angry with that guy at the end, but that's by the by. So very excited. I'm invigorated.
Do you know what I thought was lovely?
Go on.
Coming over here yesterday, and you're sitting in the back garden having a good old chat with Paul Garner. And there was paper all over the table.
Yeah, we'd written stuff. And you're right, Harsh, that's a good reason to sign up to the Patreon. Please don't tell Brian I'm sharing it, because he's strictly told me, don't share it. I'm going to do it. It felt nice creating stuff. I'm really excited about my show, Imposter Syndrome. Tickets still not on sale yet at the Stables, which was owned by Cleo Lane. I'm assuming she still... I don't know if she
still be in the family, won't it?
I went there when it was being built. I'll look around. So I'm looking forward to that. I also, and then we'll stop talking about me, but lots happened. I've been thinking this idea for the last couple of years, right? And I've not said it. I don't think I've even mentioned it to you, have I? The 11 o'clock show thing. Have I mentioned it to you in the past? Have I? Mm-hmm. And I said it to Paul, and I said, I think I'd like to do an 11 o'clock show. I'd like to bring it back. And he said, okay, what would that look like? Are you going to do it on YouTube? I said, no, I think it's a live theatre show called Iain. He came up with Iain Lee's 11 o'clock show. And we keep it topical, so it's kind of moving. It's the desk, it's the suit. And I said, but beyond that, I haven't got much of an idea. He said, right, well, of course, you'll ask Ricky, and Jimmy Carr was the warm-up man. You'll ask Ricky and Jimmy, right? I said, should I? And Paul works very closely with Jimmy, and he said, let me have a word with Jimmy. I think he'd be up for filming something. I said, what about Ricky? And he said, why wouldn't he want to? Even if it's just a little film or something. So I'm going to, Mackenzie, I'm sure would be kind enough to film a little something. I need to go through the list of all the people we had on it and all of that. And yeah, so the plan is Iain Lee's 11 o'clock show. I can see it in like a small theatre, 250 people. And beyond that, I don't know. What it would entail is me actually sitting down and watching a load of 11 o'clock shows to kind of get some bibs and bobs. But yeah, that's the plan. Imagine.
I can see it.
I can see it. I can see it. So Graham says, good to see you light up again about this stuff. I'm buzzing. Daisy, I don't think Daisy would be up for it, Jim. I think you know that, but I don't think she would, and I probably wouldn't reach out to her. Jim says, love Paul Garner managed to get his father-in-law mentioned way back on 11 o'clock show, one of those vids. His father-in-law, of course, was Chaz Hodges from Chaz and Dave. If you don't know who Paul Garner is, type his name into YouTube. The funniest writer I have ever met. He wrote for us. He wrote for the Priory. He wrote loads of stuff. But he's also a very, very funny performer. He had his own show over here, the pilot show. He had it in America on MTV.
Yeah, I think his face will ring a bell.
Yeah, he's. We might watch an 11 o'clock show thing a bit later on. We'll see how we get on with the rest of the show. So that's
been percolating.
That's where I'm at. Everything is good. Everything is great. Is fine. Finally booked a hotel for our trip away.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. No tents for us.
No tent. It was tents for a while because I hadn't booked a hotel. But now I've booked somewhere for us to stay. Is it a hotel?
Well, you keep saying hotel.
So Do I keep saying hotel?
Yeah.
Well, it could be a B&B. Airbnb. No, it's a hotel. So that's exciting. So we're going to have 2 weeks off in August, in the middle of August. Sorry, I'm getting... Oh, Kim is at the Wing Festival. He's having Squid Game wings. I didn't get those too full. It wasn't official though. All right, let me turn this off because they're pinging away. I'm gonna, when we do this, I'm gonna give him a little call in a bit. He went to a Wings Festival, not.
Which is a Wings Festival?
And on the road, chicken wings.
There's a festival in that, is there?
There certainly is. There certainly is. So exciting times.
The wings isn't the juiciest part, is it?
No, but wings is the things. So, yeah, all in all, very productive. I feel like this free podcast has just been an advert.
So?
You got any... Before we end the free one and go to our favourite people, you wonderful, wonderful Patreons. Anything you'd like to say? I've dominated, which sometimes you like.
I had my cervix checked this morning. Get it done. And then the other end, I went to the dentist. So top and tailed I've been today.
Imagine you've got the wrong way around and you're in the dentist with your arse sticking up in the air.
Why would you imagine that, you weirdo? Anyway, yeah, top and tailed.
Should we end it on that bombshell?
I think so. Have a think about that.
Patreon.com/Iain and Katherine.